Hey guys, what's up? This is Stu here. Just wanting to say the reason that there's no content from week 1 through 6 is because, well, I tried doing a week 1 through 6 kinda summary video, but I came out just rambling and not really analyzing anything. I didn't really get the idea to to really do something like this until a few weeks ago, and this is really the first week where I really had time, and it's also the first time in a while I've actually been able to sit down and watch a full game because as of late I've just been busy with a lot of college stuff. Hope you guys can understand, and for my analysis, it's not gonna be anything graphic intensive. This is meant for just sitting down for background noise or listening to it in the car. Kind of sort of like a radio show podcast type deal. So, I guess just sit back, maybe grab a drink. Or if you're in the car, don't grab a drink, just keep driving, focus on the road, and I hope you guys enjoy. Oh, Philadelphia. How I want to believe. You guys almost got me. I'm almost with you guys all the way. I am almost in the same boat as a lot of fans are. I'm almost on the boat that we are a team of destiny and that this is a special team. I want to believe this is a special team. They almost had me tonight. They almost did. They win by maybe another touchdown or two, and I think this team's special. I want to be on the same boat as everybody else and say that this is a very special team. I mean, this team has wicked potential. I think they can be something special, but I don't necessarily think that they are that special yet. I'm hard to convince. Alright? I mean, I'm a college student that grew up watching the Eagles and have my heart ripped out of my chest most every year. If there's one thing my father taught me, it's not to have expectations as a Philadelphia fan. You're just going to get your heart ripped out of you. That being said, though, this was a really good game, offensively. For starters, first half of this game was just plagued with so many penalties. I mean, our first offensive drive ended up being first down and 30 because of so many freaking penalties. Absolutely horrible, horrible start. Now, I will say that after a weak first quarter offensively, things really did pick up. Of course, one thing that I see in Carson Wentz is that he loves to throw the ball deep. But that's also going to be his downfall. Because if you remember, he threw a deep ball to, I think, Torrey. It was in that same drive where they got all those penalties, in fact. And overthrew him by a long shot and threw an interception. Carson threw a lot of deep balls tonight, and not many of them connected. I remember he connected one with Zach, I believe, and he did connect that one with Mac Hollins. Hollins' first career TD, good on him. And we scored, I believe, 4 out of 5 drives. Mac Hollins had a deep TD catch. Ertzy just caught the ball, shoved the guy down, ran right in. He had a TD catch. Corey Clement had a TD catch off of whatever kind of throw that was that Carson made. He was being pressured. I mean, he had a guy literally right on top of him, and he somehow managed to slip it in there to Corey Clement. And then Nelson had a TD catch. I really do love how well Nelson's playing this year. He really has stepped up. He really has improved. This is a very improved offense. You know, O-line's doing good. You know, Lane Johnson hasn't been suspended for juicing yet. There was a big blow, though. Jason Peters got hurt, and that's heartbreaking. Because I've watched this guy play literally every year I've been invested in the Eagles. I've watched this guy play. To see him go down was heartbreaking, especially with the knee, because this is coming from a guy who has had 2 dislocated kneecaps and knee surgery. To see Peters go down was absolutely horrible, and I do wish him the best. That was really the one spot of offense that just was bad. Well, also the running game. I'll give Wendell Smartwood this. You know, he is my least favorite back on this football team. But tonight, he had some good runs. He really did. And, you know, he didn't have big runs, but he had good runs. You know, runs he had to fight for. LeGarrette Blount, on the other hand, was very underwhelming. He had one good run, and besides that, he was either getting pushed back or just not getting anywhere. The run game was pretty disappointing tonight, especially from LeGarrette Blount. Smallwood, though, I think he played hard. You know, he didn't get a lot of glory on the touchdown side of things, but he played hard. He really did. Gonna take a quick glance at my notes here. I was able to take notes on this entire game. Oh yeah, the whole game Gruden was talking about the North Dakota toughness, and that, you know, shined so brightly with that first touchdown pass to Hollins. I mean, not only was that a good throw and a good catch and a good touchdown dance by Hollins, that came on a 2nd and 16 right after a big sack. That came in the second quarter on our 5th offensive drive. Look for my notes. Okay, yeah. We scored on 3 straight drives. Then we had a 3 and out. And then the last touchdown was by Nelson. Apparently Carson Wentz now leads the league in touchdown passes, which is great. I love it. He has more touchdown passes through the first 6 games than Donovan did in 2006. And that's amazing. And, you know, we all knew coming into this year that Carson was going to be improved. I wasn't expecting this much improvement. Carson has made just a stellar jump from week 1 to week 2. He really has. And, you know, he's got this whole town in a frenzy following behind him. And, you know, not only that, but one thing I like about Carson, he can throw. You know, he loves the deep ball. Everyone loves the deep ball. He loves throwing the deep ball. The deep ball gets him in trouble. Got him in trouble early in the first half. Another thing that gets him in trouble is that he just gets unlucky interceptions. There was one interception in a preseason game against Miami that went off like, I think, a lineman's helmet. And then that same thing happened against the Chiefs that ended up giving them the momentum, where I think Kelsey had the touchdown that put the Chiefs in lead that game. So I guess helmet interceptions and the deep ball sometimes are Carson's kryptonite. One thing I love about this guy, and he showed it tonight, he has legs and he's not afraid to run. Not afraid to run. I mean, everyone's going to be posting, reposting, and talking about that play where it looked like a for sure sack, and then he just slipped right out and goes for the first down. But he had a couple good runs tonight. I think he had 2 or 3 first down runs overall. He's not the fastest, but he's got legs. And what I love about him is that he uses those legs. Uses them well. Not only that, he's elusive. First touchdown pass of the year, if anyone remembers, just showed how elusive he was. He's elusive. And he's really good at buying time. If he doesn't move around in the pocket on that touchdown pass to Corey, he didn't move. He moved a little bit, but if he didn't move at all, he would have been sacked. That play would not have happened. That's what I love about Carson. He can move. He can run. Those are two big parts of his game that make Carson. So, overall offense, Carson had a good night. Running game, a lot to be desired, but Smallwood, to me, I think, proved his worth tonight. Didn't get much of the glory, but he showed me that he's here. When he gets the ball, he's going to run hard. And, I can appreciate that. I can appreciate guys that can run hard. Defensive side of things was an absolute, not disaster. Front lines played like they normally do, talking defensive line and linebackers, when you put pressure on Kirk Cousins, he's gonna make a mistake. And we put good pressure on him. I know we sacked him a few times. I know Malcolm had a sack. Fletcher had a sack late in the game. I remember Barnett had a sack in the first half. So D-line did their job. But here's the thing. Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. I love Kirk Cousins. I really do. He is a good quarterback. And you know what he did tonight? He picked our secondary apart. When he had time, he was just completing pass after pass, and not just like short passes. I'm talking like, passes right down the middle, big passes. Reed, tight end, I believe, Reed, was really big for the Skins tonight. It's a good thing that Carson had such a great night himself, because Cousins, he had over 300 yards. He was like 30 for 40. And, last week, really for this season, I would give the secondary compliments, because even without Ronald Darby, they're not doing too bad. They're the secondary, they're sloppy, they're scrappy, but I really never had too many complaints about them until tonight, because secondary is and has been our Achilles heel, and Cousins really, really stabbed at that Achilles heel tonight, because he completed a lot of passes, and a lot of good passes. Secondary was just, man. I did not like how the secondary played tonight. Right, taking another quick look at our notes. Oh yeah, whoever that Thompson guy is, running back Thompson, he's gonna be something special, because I've always felt that this defense was really good against the rush, and tonight we weren't bad. But Thompson had a good game. He had a touchdown run where he was untouched. He had good runs. This is a team that held Kareem Hunt in check for about 3 out of 4 quarters. Kareem Hunt. And really, in the Kansas City game, Hunt only had like 1 or 2, big runs. Thompson, I felt, didn't really have many explosive runs, but he had good runs. Whoever that guy is, I think he's going to be something special in this league. Because, week 1, we shut down the Redskins' run game. But this week, that kid didn't necessarily run all over us, but he played a good game. I'm not going to take anything away from him. He played a good game. I'm still taking a look over my notes to make sure I didn't get anything. Okay, I will say this. This is still a very good short yardage defense. You know, we against the Giants, when we stopped them on 4th and goal, that was big. I remember there being a couple like 3rd and shorts tonight. We didn't stop them on the goal line, but there were a few 3rd and shorts where we stopped them. I think part of that was that they tried to like throw in like 3rd and 1. And like they didn't do that like once. They threw it on like 3rd and very short, I think 2-3 times. And we kept stopping them. So I'll give the secondary this. They're good at defending the on short yardage. Taking a look over my notes just to make sure I didn't miss anything. I mean, being honest, if there's a part of the game that I don't compliment or don't insult, then usually that means they're doing good. If I have something good to say about anything on defense, because I played defense in high school, but I'm not a very defensive guy. I've always been about offense. If I compliment anything on the defense, that means they did something good. But yeah, a recurring theme in my notes is the secondary being picked apart or having a meltdown. It was glaring tonight because we got picked apart by a good quarterback. A quarterback that, if he doesn't stay in Washington, will make very good money somewhere else. I mean, send him to Cleveland. I say that, but Jeff Garcia went to Cleveland that one time and it didn't work out. But, Cousins is a good quarterback. Picked apart our secondary, period. And also, there were just a lot of penalties tonight. It was so glaring on our first drive because of how much we got pushed back. But there were a lot of penalties. And guys, I don't think, that was much refs against us, I know there was one call that Barnett got away with. I think the Redskins got away with a few calls. But I think most of those penalties were warranted. I can't say much about last week and the referees because I wasn't able to watch a majority of last week's game because I had obligations. I watched the end of the game, though. But, I don't think refs were against us. First drive, we shot ourselves in the foot. I will say this. Even though, we put so many points on the board in between, in the second and third quarters, I will say this. The Redskins did hang around. And they are still going to be our biggest competition in the NFC East unless the Cowboys have a surge back. I am happy that our toughest NFC East opponent we just had a season sweep over. That's big. That's big. So overall, I'd give offensive performance would definitely get an A in my book. Defense would get probably a C+. Because the secondary, and the problems with the secondary, was really, really glaring tonight. Now, not as glaring as that one Sunday night game a few years back when Bradley Fletcher allowed 3 touchdowns to Dez Bryant. I don't think it was that bad. But, I mean, when Cousins had all day to throw, he made something happen. Major props to the Skins. They managed to hang around for a while. But overall, Carson came to play. And it was kind of cool seeing that so many different guys on the offense got a slice of the action. Ertz, Carson's favorite target. Mac Hollins, his first touchdown reception. Nelson had a touchdown reception. Corey Clement had a touchdown reception. So we got a combination of 2 familiar guys, a.k.a. two of our best receivers on the team right now, and two guys that that you wouldn't really expect. Again, though, people out there, if you're religious, pray for Jason and hope it's not too serious. My heart goes out to the man, and I was really proud of the Philly fans tonight. For what they did for Jason. Chanting his name, Jason Peters. Because as much crap as Philly fans get, and some of it is warranted, let's admit, if there's one thing that people could admire us for, it's that when we love a player, we love a player to death. Jason is one of those guys that's household name, the guy that you want to buy a beer for at the bar. Jason is one of those guys, and we love him. That's why we chanted his name. But that's Jason and Jason and Darren. Darren's still out. Those are two guys that this city has come to love. Two guys that I love personally that are now gone. But we fight on. As Eagles, that's what we do. We fight on. I enjoyed watching tonight's game. Had a lot of fun cheering for the offense. Defense was a bit painful. I hope Darby comes back, because I think Darby will be a difference maker. Watching what he could do in the preseason, I think Darby can and will be a difference maker in the secondary. Now, looking to next week, we got San Francisco. It's San Francisco. Now, here's the thing. If we put up like a 42 point performance on those guys, and we hold them to below. I'll be fair. If we can score 35 to 49 points and hold them below 21 points, I will come out next week and tell you guys this team is special. Because with a team like the 49ers, offense has to have the field day. And I don't even know who the 49ers quarterback is. If it's still Blaine Gabbert, someone needs to be fired, for God's sake. I forget how many teams Gabbert's been with. And who knows, Gabbert could be having a decent season, but, he's not a superstar. He's not. 49ers probably got to be thinking quarterback this draft. And they're going to have good options. I mean, I think Darnold's a bit overrated, but I think Mayfield will be in there. Trace McSorley might be in there. I think he is. I think he's a senior. So, 49ers got options. I got a bit off track. I don't care how bad the secondary is. If we allow 21 or more points to the 49ers with the kind of team we have, guys, come on. If this is not a blowout, I'm going to have concerns. If it is a blowout, I'll come out next week and I'll say this team is special. Because at that point, we'll be 7-1. Only reason I'm so strict about this is because we came out against the Giants and Chargers, and Giants almost came back and beat us. They almost did. We almost lost to the Chargers. And I don't know if those guys won today, but I think going into today, those teams only had maybe 2-3 wins combined. No, the Cardinals proved to me that we can blow teams out. And, critics are saying we have an easy schedule. And you know what? Those easy teams, a few of those easy teams have given us a bit of trouble. If we have an easy schedule, we need to be blowing people out. Look at someone like Oklahoma State going up against Texas. Easy win, right? And, Oklahoma week before. Texas, easy win, right? Both those teams Oklahoma State barely escaped. Oklahoma just played a good game and scored late. Oklahoma State should not have won that game. That was Texas's game to lose, and they lost. Or to win. I don't know. You know, so that's just why I'm so just... why I'm just kind of so strict. Because, Redskins, winning by like 10 points against the Redskins, I get that. Because Redskins are not a bad football team. But, like I said, the Giants... we beat the Giants by luck, skill, and a big leg. The Chargers, now granted, the Chargers did score late. I think it was like 26-17. But still, we should have at least won. We should have won that by at least 2 possessions, guys. Come on. Though, Melvin Gordon is a good player, and Rivers ain't bad. I mean, they're both on my fantasy team, but still, Then I think after San Francisco, is it the Bears? I can't remember if the Bears are after San Francisco or after Dallas. I think it's after San Francisco. Then we have a bye week, and then we go play the Cowboys. Honestly, I don't really have any main keys for next week. We just gotta come out and play a complete game. If we win convincingly, I will come out and I will tell all you guys that, hey, this team is special. I want to believe they're special. I think that they can be special. But I'm just not ready to believe that and jump on the same boat with everybody else until I believe they fully prove it. They're almost there, mind you. They've almost fully proven to me that they are a special team. Almost. Just not quite. Well, I am Stu. I'm a rough and rowdy, rip-roaring Eagles fan. I will see you guys next week after San Francisco. EAGLES. Eagles, baby. Have a good night, y'all.